Welcome back to the Tosche Station podcast. Gentlemen, how have we been?
I've been good. School's been keeping me pretty busy, but, doing well, just coming off of spring break. Looking forward to talking about some Star Wars here.
You guys had a spring break. Wow, good to know your school cares about you. Yeah. Yeah, we have wellness days though, so it's fine. It's totally fine. Just
Wellness days?
a random Wednesday off is in the middle of semester, just totally fine. Yeah. That's what our school decided to do instead of,
Yeah, they don't care about
caring
you.
about our sanity, but it's fine.
Spring break definitely has been a mixed bag because the professors straight up the last day of class were like, "Hey yo, so we're gonna we want you guys to take a break from your screens. We know you guys are exhausted. Take it easy, have a relaxing break." And then I got assigned projects by three of my large classes. And I'm like, you do realize that whole statement was a bit redundant, right?
No, honestly, what's the point of having a break if I still have to work on my English thesis over it?
Good Lord.
Like, are you kidding me?
That's not a break. That's literally not
what?
A break. Nah, last semester my spring break consisted of coming home, finding out we're in the middle of a pandemic, them being like, okay, an extended spring break, and now they're like, a whole year later, they're like, what's a spring break? So yeah, we're enjoying that.
I remember the 2-week long spring break we had last year. God, that was enjoyable to start with. Well, we knew what that was going to spiral into.
Oh boy, a whole extra 2 weeks off from school, yay! Oh, and now we're here a year later, just wanting to.
Honestly, I would if I could go back in time and change reality. I would throw away the entire spring break just to not have this pandemic.
Yeah.
Basically. Oh, Jesus. And I just saw a thing that said that this thing isn't really ever going to go away. We just we're just basically going to be wearing masks. Masks are going to be a part of our culture now, which is going to be weird. Okay.
I saw something that said masks are emasculating on Twitter. Some crazy lady was like, yeah, masks are feminine. And I'm like, bro, what is wrong with you?
Okay, it wouldn't put it past me. What are people now? People are going to say that the vaccine is feminine. Probably. Who knows? Okay. Anyways, steering away from what was that?
That's not what we're here for. We're here for the Star Wars, baby.
So yeah, what we're going to be talking about is actually, I'm going to open up real quick, and I just mentioned this with the direction of Disney Star Wars and how they're going with right now with obviously the Mandalorian and the new shows they announced, the Ahsoka show, the Rangers. Is that what it's called? Rangers of the Republic.
Rangers of the New Republic.
Yes.
That one looks like it's going to be fire.
That looks really good, but I feel like they're going in this direction with like a cinematic universe type, basically what Marvel's doing, and they're just going to come out with these independent shows and eventually somewhere and they're going to be in phases and it's all going to connect. I feel like they're going in that direction. And honestly, I think that that's kind of the best thing they can do at this point. We don't want any more films for at least a long time because I really don't think you can just forget about what happened. But I think that if they do come out with future films, it should definitely be something new and, an area we haven't necessarily explored yet, which would kind of be sort of refreshing. But I know a lot of people want Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau to kind of just take it and just work on all of it and just pretty much, take it all out at once. But it's that's how you get burnt out, and that's kind of how these creators...
They're national treasures. We need to protect them.
Yeah, that's kind of how these creators will end up leaving, and these directors, and they just can't do it anymore. But I did hear something that was kind of interesting. I don't know how true this is, but I guess Kathleen Kennedy and Filoni are kind of at a standoff right now with...
Oh, they've always been.
Well, with regards to ideas, and people are picking sides, and I guess it's not going so well over there. So let's just hope that doesn't end up exploding.
It's kind of like what we talked about last time, though. Kathleen Kennedy and her writers group, they when they dropped High Republic, they didn't know that Luke Skywalker was coming back. Nobody knew Luke Skywalker was coming back, and so they felt very blindsided. Because the Golden Boy of Star Wars has returned and took the wind out of the sails of the High Republic launch. Which, granted, the High Republic, as advertised, didn't look bad, but the execution failed. And the thing is, Kathleen gathered writers that like some of them like I'm pretty sure Karen Travis is one of the writers that she gathered, and like I trust Karen Travis with a Star Wars story or a science fiction story. Like I'm pretty sure she's written for Star Wars before. Hang on. Like I know I've read something by her. I think yeah, she's written so many Star Wars books. She's written a bunch of Republic Commando novels. I'm pretty sure she's written some stuff for the New Republic. The Star Wars not the Yuzhang Vong, like I think right after the Yuzhang Vong when Jaqen falls to the dark side or whatever. She wrote for that. She wrote a Boba Fett book. Like I trust her with a Star Wars story, but it just didn't go as planned.
Yeah, I see. The High Republic just wasn't. To be honest, I thought it was a total waste of resources, and I think it's going to be a total failure. But I guess it's not. I don't know. Obviously, its target audience is kids, but so is the Clone Wars series. And look at that. Look at.
Well, that's my biggest thing. Is just like I don't disagree with having the whole the way they're doing High Republic. So let's look at Legends, for example. When we got episode 6, that was initially like George had a prequel trilogy in mind. 6 was the end of the story. It was Luke finished, it was the end of the movie story. From there they started doing things like video games, comics, books, stuff like that. They kept adding on to the mythos. But one of the things was it wasn't like you needed to go out and buy all of these things to understand the lore of the universe. It was just like these are things that happen afterwards, and if you want to look at it from there, you can. The way they're doing the High Republic, it almost feels mandatory to be reading these comics to understand what they do going forward. And that is my issue with it. It feels like they're taking it away from cinematography, taking it away from movies and TV shows. Like, yeah, we need to get people reading, which I'm all for, but I personally am not super interested in the High Republic. And the fact that they're placing so much emphasis in, well, you need this book, you need this comic, you need all of these things. It's like, I don't have that much time to just sit down and read through a novel.
Yeah, and coming from somebody that has never read a Star Wars or just read comics in general, I just never did that, and nor do I think I will, just because I don't have the time, nor do I want to keep shelling out the money just to get, access to that stuff. It doesn't appeal to me. I mean, I like, it's art that's supposed to be on screen, that's kind of how I look at it, and I know that there are other people that like to, collect and that just do like the comics, which is fine. Like, personally, I know the Vader comics are really good, and I have seen stuff from the Vader comics that make me think, well, now, if that was on the big screen, Star Wars would be bumping, and that's just kind of how I think.
The comics are great.
The comics are fire. The Vader comics do really well.
The Vader comics are unreal, and they give you a ton of really cool lore, like Darth Momin. You find out what happened to Jocasta Nu. You see, not Cato Nemoidia.
He actually goes back and kills what's his name, the slave person.
Wait,
Watto. He goes back and kills Watto.
Yep.
Honestly, I'm with it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe one day I'll read them. I just think that if all that stuff was just turned into shows or movies, then they would be in a perfect direction. Like, that's literally what they're doing with the Marvel comics. Like,
I just think that they dropped too many. That's the thing. Like, they dropped too many at once. You feel me? Like the Legends in the EU, like they had a ton of books, a ton. I own. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I own 5, 6 Star Wars books from the EU, and that's not even like 5% of how much extended universe material in book form there is. But the thing with the High Republic, I feel like, is that they did too much too quickly. Like, they dropped the book, they dropped the comics, they dropped like smaller comics for children. Like, they just tried to do too much. Like,
They weren't
you're
worried
gonna make
about
it
the quality. They were just worried about getting as much out as possible.
Yeah, if you wanted to do it, if you wanted to like put it towards kids, then put it towards kids.
Yeah.
Don't put it towards kids and try to put it towards adults. You feel me? Don't market it for both. Like when you market it for too many people at once, you like that you need to have a target audience, and they didn't have a target audience. They just said Star Wars fans, and like Star Wars fans vary. Like that's the beauty of the fandom. Like Star Wars fans vary in in their preference and everything like that. So of course you're gonna have people that are like, okay, I kind of rock with this. This is kind of cool. And then you're gonna have people like, well, what is this? Like, are you serious right now? Like, this is exactly the opposite of what I wanted.
Oh yeah, I understand that, and I don't know. Maybe we'll get there someday. Honestly, I don't know. I would like to get there, but I don't know. Well, it looks like we've lost Nick, so
So we lost Nick. Nick
yeah,
is
he just disappeared into the.
Where did my boy?
He disappeared
The
into
void.
the outer
Into the
rim, I
void of
guess. I
space.
don't know. Into the deep dark void.
He fell on the reactor shaft
Nah,
Damn
just
it again!
just
again.
just levitate, bro, or just
Just use
listen.
like
The dark side is a path to many abilities, some that may be considered unnatural. Come on now, you can just bring yourself back to life. No, but and then there was other news throughout the week that actually got me really excited. The Clone Wars 2003
Yeah.
cartoon is coming to Disney Plus. I don't know when. I don't have a date.
Oh,
Actually.
April 2nd.
yeah.
When?
April 2nd, I'm pretty
April
sure.
2nd. Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
So real quick,
As well as real quick, as well as the Bad Batch. That's coming out on May, right? May the 4th. Yes. Okay. So we got two announcement dates for two shows. One which I have never watched the 2003 like fully, like all the way through. I've only seen certain clips specifically that has to do with General Grievous because he is the best non-force ability character in all of Star Wars. At me.
Theon, you've seen the entire 2003 show, correct?
Yes, I have.
David, you have not. You've only seen the
I've only
Grievous
seen
clip.
bits and pieces.
Okay. One of the coolest things that I love about that show is just what they do with some characters. Like for example, the clones. The clones in 2003 are soldiers. There is no personality to them. They are soldiers in a nutshell, and you see that. They are ruthless. They're efficient. They are just incredibly.
The Mandalorians 12 are crazy.
Yeah, but to me, one of the biggest things was we also saw a really different and like more terrifying version of Asajj Ventress. Ventress in the 2003 Clone Wars is scarier than she is in the 2008 Clone Wars. And
2008 humanized many people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked her in the 2008 Clone Wars, to be honest, but other than that, I mean, I didn't really know much about her, and I never honestly really cared for that character that much. But I do know that she was in the 2003 Clone Wars, and that
she was ruthless.
Pretty cool. And also, you're right about those clone troopers, though. They're literal soldiers, and I've seen the one clip of this one soldier this was on...
Fordo?
It was on Coruscant.
Coruscant,
yes.
That's
And he's just bodying these freaking super battle droids, and he's got the gun in one hand, and I don't know, the other thing, I don't know, I think he's holding
He's got a D15 carbine in one hand, he's got a pistol in the other.
Dude, he's just going ham, like, it's ridiculous. Oh my god.
I've seen that clip set to the song Freebird by Leonard Skinner.
He's back. He's alive.
I've seen it set to Doom music, and that killed me.
Yes.
I saw the caption. It was like me pounding out the last few assignments during finals week or something like that, and it was just. Oh.
I saw a caption where it was like, when COVID enters my body and the one Flintstone gummy I took 12 years ago kicks in.
Yeah, basically. No, or it was my favorite one. It was me firing a "you up" text on a Friday night at 1 a.m. Dude, I feel like these are gonna get memed so hard. I just know they are.
No, honestly though, from another great character from the 2003 series that actually just got made canon is Dirge.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the one that
yes, the
Obi-Wan
bounty
fights.
hunter that Obi-Wan blew
Oh
up.
my god, he's so
Yeah,
cool.
they made him canon in a recent comic, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah,
they did. They did.
Yes. So honestly, like I don't know if his fight with Obi-Wan is canon. Um, but I do know that like the character itself is canon.
bro, he was
I,
such a terrifying force.
bro, Dirge was literally unstoppable.
Probably the
Like
strongest bounty
More
hunter.
one.
yes, undoubtedly the strongest bounty hunter. Like
He's
he's literally unkillable.
he,
I'm not even. Yeah, he's a Gendai,
yeah,
and
he straight up
like
swallows Obi-Wan at one point in the show, and even after
yeah,
getting blown up, the camera pans back to him and he starts moving again. And that's it for him in the show, but like you can tell he's still alive.
yeah. No, he literally no. The only and in Legends, the only thing that killed him was literally being flown into a star by Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Like he is literally the epitome of can't stop, won't stop.
Kissed up the train, baby. Now, what are your thoughts on? I'm hearing rumors again. I don't know if these are probably just rumors. That Obi-Wan is going to appear in quite a few of the other shows that Disney has planned. Like obviously, there's the Kenobi series, but there's another show, not the Ahsoka show. Although I did hear a rumor that he could show up in that too, but I don't know how that would work, considering timeline.
Well, it depends on when the Ahsoka show goes. Does it start immediately after Order 66 or later?
I think it's set in the Mando universe, so he must be appearing as like a Force ghost.
Oh, well then, yeah. I mean, we already heard like in literally the entire Jedi Council in episode 9, so.
Yeah, so I wouldn't rule it out. But there was another show. What's that other?
Also,
There's another show. I forget the name of it. Not that Sith one, Acolyte or whatever. There's another. I'm gonna figure this out.
let me find a full list of upcoming Star Wars shows.
I was just looking through this actually. So there's Rogue Squadron.
Oh man.
There's
Oh man.
boys, there's the Kenobi show,
Yeah.
which I am
What?
just so excited for.
I look up upcoming Star Wars shows, and it's
Big shot.
Big Shot.
And Disney's Monster World.
Why is that? And it's
Why is
we-
that there?
So here's the
Wait,
list.
hold
We have-
up, dude. Who Taika Waititi is making a Star Wars movie? That's
that's gonna be awesome.
That's gonna be amazing. I didn't know that.
So real quick, here's what I'm seeing that we have coming up. We have the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. We have Andor.
I
There's
think it's
the book
Andor.
of-
Yes, it's Andor. They said that he's rumored to appear in, but I don't know.
Yeah,
what
there's Boba Fett,
that's
Bad
gonna be
Batch.
awesome.
Rogue Squadron, Visions, Lando, Ahsoka, the Acolyte, and a droid story.
Yes.
Droid
And
story?
then
Oh my god.
The untitled. No, Droid Story is specifically gonna be for kids.
Yeah,
Of course,
100%.
100%.
Animated
And then
series.
Where's my Jar Jar?
Entire trilogy, bro.
Dude, where's
Shut
my Jar Jar
up.
origin story? Come on now.
Dude, shut up. Don't even start. You want to
Come
see his
on.
dark side?
Like I would have rather had them gone with Jar Jar being the Sith Lord than having Palpatine come back. I mean, let's be honest.
You want to see Jar Jar?
Okay, we need to move on from this before we start in on Ryan Johnson again.
No. We're moving on. We're not dealing with Ryan
No,
Johnson.
okay, so I want to bring up the Bad Batch. That show looks like it's going to be one of the best. Aside from obviously Kenobi and Ahsoka, but I think the Bad Batch is going to be up there. And isn't that taking place during Order 66?
Yes, it takes place during the fall of the Republic / Rise of the Empire. I have no idea what it could possibly be about, aside from maybe them defecting from the Empire.
I was going to say, since they're like technically defective troops, maybe they don't.
I don't think they have a chip. I don't think they have a chip.
No, because they're technically
Like, there's
defective, so
no
maybe they just kind
Like
of.
it's their job to do what they're not. It's their job to do what other people are not. Other clones are not supposed to do. So they definitely don't have a chip.
That'll be interesting. I wonder if we'll get some like Revenge of the Sith stuff in there too, like just like subtle stuff.
Because there are clips in the trailer for it of like Palpatine doing the whole speech at the end of Revenge of the Sith, where it is the new galactic
Yeah, that's
empire.
right. That's right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, he brought peace, justice, and security to his new empire. So
not Palpatine. It was all Vader.
And then Vader woke up and was like, "Yo, where's my girl?" And Palpatine was like, "Psych."
I still think that Palpatine took Padme's life force to give it and gave it to Vader.
Oh, I agree 100%. He looked at him and he goes, "I'll put her in you." And he's like, "You what?" No.
You what?
Yeah, it's like the plankton scene from SpongeBob. You what?
I guarantee you that's how it went. He probably, like, honestly, I could see Palpatine doing that. Like,
Yeah, because like, oh, she's died. She like, there's no way she died of a broken heart. This woman is literally like, this woman lived through the Clone Wars. Okay.
literally. Nah, and he looked
How
like he
many
was like a
assassination
burnt.
attempts?
He looked like a burnt Little Caesars pizza that was just ready to get tossed into the freaking trash and be just
So he looks like a standard Little Caesars pizza.
Yes.
sure.
Anakin looked like pizza.
Basically. And after that, he could never eat a pizza. It's
Yeah.
interesting though. Have you guys read or like seen the videos, or, like the comics, or just like any like pieces that describe like what he did and like how he had to live with that like suit?
Yeah, it's horrific.
It's
I wouldn't wish that
freaking
on my worst
awful.
enemy.
Like he
Well,
literally
yeah.
had like needles in like every part of his body. He literally could not take his. He could take his helmet off, but like
He can
For
only
the-
take his helmet off in his meditation chamber.
yeah, and
Mhm.
like the suit was like feeding him, but it wasn't even like food. It was just straight up like nutrients.
Nutritional sludge.
Yeah, basically. Like think
You
of
know-
like you're getting a Shamrock Shake from McDonald's and then taking a syringe and then like, you know, wrapping your
Okay,
hand
don't
up
do
and
that.
just
The Shamrock Shake is good. Don't do that.
basically
David,
what you're
David, you said you read the Vader comics, right?
I didn't read them. You obviously all know who Star Wars Theory is. You know how he
Yeah.
like narrates them?
Okay, so you watched that too.
Some of it, yes.
Okay, so one of the things I found really interesting was two things is the suit that you see him with at the end of Revenge of the Sith is not the same suit that you see him in A New Hope and the rest of the original trilogy, because he gets it like utterly destroyed during a battle, and during a battle with a Jedi where he gets his lightsaber crystal for his lightsaber.
Yes, I remember this.
And Palpatine comes up to him and says, "Rebuild it however you want." You know, he goes, "It's limiting. Rebuild it to your specifications." So he changes the design of it a little bit
Oh.
and adds different functions to it.
Hmm.
So
Suit-
He should have
takes
added
it from-
lightning resistance.
Well, that's the thing. No, Palpatine made his suit.
That
with an
would have
increased-
come in handy at a certain point in time, just saying.
Oh, no, because like when Palpatine gave him his suit, he made it with an increased sensitivity to lightning, so that he could have even more control over Vader.
Well,
should
yeah.
he act out or be insubordinate. So that's why he's like always like, you know, cringing is it's a robotic suit that Palpatine was like, ah yes, a lightning rod. So those
Palpatine said,
Vader
"This
was all like, "Come on, Zeus, you don't have the balls."
yeah.
He said, "This allows me to live out my Zeus fantasy."
If there's
Well,
one
there-
thing you
there's one-
can't, if there's one thing you can't get rid of, it's old man strength. He literally lifted him and just threw him down that shaft, though. Like, let's be honest. Like, think of the amount of pain that he's in just from wearing that suit and from like just moving. Not only that, but using that and then just lifting a full-grown person just over your head. Like,
Lifting the living embodiment of a lightning storm.
yeah.
Well,
basically.
actually, real quick, there was a scene in the Vader comics that I thought was awesome, and it was when Vader and Tarkin become like reunited, and they're talking. Vader helps out Tarkin, and Tarkin's like, "Well, I owe you a favor." So Vader's like, "I want you to hunt me," and so that he could
Yeah.
survival instincts. And towards the end of that whole trip, Tarkin ends up tricking Vader into standing on the high ground, where he
Huh?
gets absolutely decimated by a bolt of lightning.
Oh Jesus.
So Vader can neither have the low ground or the high ground to be successful. But he gets shocked by a huge bolt of lightning. And Tarkin's like, I almost killed him, or I have killed him. And Vader literally pops up and chokes out Tarkin because he is too angry to die. So Zeus literally takes a shot at Anakin because
Dude,
he
can't
wanted
catch
to
a fucking break.
he had the high ground finally, and Zeus took him down a peg.
Even Zeus was like, "No, I must correct this."
Zeus really said, insubordination.
This ain't my
And Anakin
universe,
said,
but
so what?
this ain't my universe, but I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Die, peasant.
And Anakin said, so what?
Yeah, Vader found out.
God, the man
Yeah,
could
he
just
did.
not catch a break, and it's just crazy. Like, I hope this is why I want like a Vader series, just so we can go in depth with that stuff. But we're probably gonna get that in the Kenobi series. All right, next topic. Oh Jesus, that was loud.
A Vader series would be great.
Video games, Star Wars video games. I
Yes.
know y'all were playing some of them just recently.
Yes.
As
I'm
far as
about to finish Fallen Order.
yes. Okay.
Yes.
I need to start that game up again. I played it for like 10 minutes. I was like, man, this is nothing like what I wanted. And I fucking put it down. I'm so picky, dude, when it comes to video games.
Well, I've
Like,
been
Good, dude.
100% it on PlayStation.
Jesus, dude. Like, I'm so picky
You
when it
fully
comes to video
100%ed it?
games. Like, it's not even.
Down.
Like, I know this isn't Star Wars related, but like, I didn't even like Red Dead Redemption 2 that much.
How? That game was incredible.
It was so fun to just dick around, but I just did not give a shit about the characters or the story. Oh, wait, was that Nick? Oh, so that's when you decide to chime in. You're gone for like half this episode, and then when I make a fucking hot take, oh, what are you talking about? See, now he's returned to his silence. Yeah, okay. Learn
Yep.
your fucking place. No.
Wow, David.
That's
Someone's
crazy.
But no, it's just I'm wicked picky when it comes to video games. I don't know. Like I had fun playing around with it, but as far as Fallen Order goes, the combat was just very like clunky for me. I don't know. Maybe I should play it on PC.
What?
I just did not like
Bro,
I did not like the combat all that much.
Stay on.
how?
Stay
It's just-
on. It's your
Yeah.
first time through. You're almost done. We can get to David's gripes in a second. What has been your overall feeling now that you're almost done with that game?
Specifically about the combat.
No,
Specifically about the
everything. Shut up,
combat,
David.
honestly, okay, so the combat I think they did a good job in animating, like different animations, things like that. Combat can get a little weird with how strong like you are compared to how strong certain enemies are. Like Night Brothers have no business being that beefy sometimes. Like they have no business just shrugging everything off. But honestly, they did a great job with enemy variation.
Mhm.
They did a great job in like, making sure you don't get complacent. With like who you're fighting, like stormtroopers, sure, run of the mill. Stormtrooper, like the scout trooper captains, better because they can actually fight you. The like the interrogation droids or whatever those like the one that like the one from Rogue One.
Probe
those
droids.
Huh?
Probe
No,
droids.
like K2SO.
No, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
K2SO type droids. Those are cool. They hit hard. They hit really hard. Those choke slams are not fun.
Watching Cal get choke slammed by a K2SO droid in Fallen Order.
Yeah, those are not fun. But so the fight that I think I had the most trouble with, and this is because I didn't know you could, or I forgot that you could like get stim upgrades. So I was two stimming the entire game up until the Terran Malicos boss fight on Dathomir.
Whoa. No, you
Yeah.
didn't.
I did. I two stimmed Goraga.
That's how I played through the entire
Leon.
time too.
Bro, I two stimmed everyone except for Malicos, and then I realized like, yo, wait a minute, I can get more stim upgrades. So I go back, I get the stim upgrades from Bogano, and I get the stim upgrades from Zepho. Then I come back and just body Malicos.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. I love the design and everything for Zepho. I hate the layout.
Oh no,
Zepho
my
had
God.
easy
It's too big.
using layout.
It's too
Yeah,
big.
it's too. It's
Okay,
Like,
if
we had
somebody
four
has the
different
same
sections.
gripes I have with this game on the podcast, so I'm not, outnumbered, please help me. Continue.
Honestly though, when the point in which I really started to get good at like combat is when I got precision evade. Oh my goodness.
Wait, what difficulty did you play on?
I played on Jedi Master.
Okay. Okay. I think that's what
I'm
I
gonna
played on.
go back and
Is that the
I'm gonna go
hardest?
back and
Is that the hardest?
no, Grandmaster's the hardest. I'm gonna try to Grandmaster it once I'm finished with my master playthrough.
have fun with Seven Sister, bro.
Have fun with what?
Have fun with the Seven Sister on Grandmaster.
Oh
I
my
heard
god.
something totally different, but I'm not gonna
Yo,
comment.
Kashyyyk, Seventh Sister was ridiculous.
Her and Malikos are like two of the toughest bosses.
Malikos literally took 5 years off my life.
At what?
Malikos,
From
honestly,
screaming at the
like
screen.
the fact that I almost two-stimmed him like 6 different times is like that's
At-
when I knew I'm like, okay, I might be nice at this game.
At one
like I really
point-
might be nice.
At what point did you guys go to get the double-bladed lightsaber?
I did not get it immediately. I waited till Kashyyyk.
Okay.
That was
first
my
playthrough. My first
I got it on
playthrough, I
Kashyyyk.
got it. Yeah, my first playthrough, I got it on Kashyyyk. My second and third playthroughs, I went to Dathomir and got it. Just because
Yeah,
it's
no.
so much.
I didn't realize you could
Combat
get it
is
on
so
deck.
much. The combat's so much smoother once you have the double-bladed lightsaber, and also some of the attacks you can do with it are just absolutely crazy.
Well, I
The
think
split
like,
attack when I reached Ilium and I got the split attack. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, the split attack does so much damage. It's so useful.
I think my issue was I tried to go to get the double-bladed lightsaber a bit too early. So I said,
Dathomir is a different planet. So,
yeah, so I just said, you know what, forget that. I'll go back to it at some point, and I've never gone back to it.
Yeah, no, Dathomir is incredibly difficult. Especially like just after coming off of Bogano, like you need Zepho to get your weight up.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I will agree with the variety of enemies and just the overall like how the gameplay like it keeps you on your toes and like you have to really you can also like you use the environment to go around to like figure out puzzles and stuff. Like I enjoy all of that. That's totally fine. The graphics is everything's good. It looks good. The sound is good. Everything is good. It's just the combat, especially at the beginning. I get it. He's no Jedi master. He's not. He's
He's a barely trained Padawan.
yeah,
bro.
I get it. He's not. He's no Star Killer. All right, but
Oh, man.
I still just felt like I was. I did not feel like I felt like I literally had just picked that lightsaber up that like on that day one, and I was like, why am I like what?
Yes, you
like
did.
no, but like you've had training, like you've had years of training. Clearly,
Think about this. The last time he trained was like literally 19 years ago.
Mhm.
Dude is a whole adult now. Like the
This
last time
it should be
really
some. I feel like it should be
So-
something that it's who you are, right? You're a Jedi. It's who you are. No matter. I feel like you take
So-
that long
Yeah,
off.
Wait.
That's
Gentlemen,
outlaw,
gentlemen.
dude.
So
Is it who he is though?
what happened is that Cal had to shut off his connection with the Force, and in the beginning of the game has a very broken connection with the Force. And we really see him regain his connection to the Force, start to regain his abilities throughout the campaign of the game as he starts to repair his mention to it. Yeah, because when you
Like,
start
as
off,
you regain your connection with the Force, you get better at fighting. Like the combos you can
was
use
also
later on in the
only-
game are
yeah.
crazy.
You also have to keep in mind that the game takes place 5 years after Order 66, and
Mhm.
Cal was only 12 years old. So he had only really been reasonably Jaro Tapal's Padawan for maybe only a couple of months, and had only really been out of the Jedi Temple for who knows how long. Because we know he hadn't gone on the Gathering yet, since
Yeah,
he didn't have
because-
his own lightsaber crystal.
All right.
So he
Yeah,
was a
12
fairly
years old.
tenderfoot young.
Yeah,
12
like,
years old is
Padawan,
even
so-
young for a Padawan. Like
When-
Cal
It
must
really
have shown
is.
immense
It
potential.
really is.
he did have his own lightsaber. He lost it.
Oh, that's true.
Yes, he
Lost
did.
it during his season.
So he had been on the he must have just been on the Gathering because like if we're going by the only other like real Padawan that we've grown up with, which is Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was picked as a Padawan at like 14. And
'Cause he's
that's
freaking
considered
Obi-Wan.
late. No,
Well, no,
that's
he's
considered
not-
late.
No, he's an exception. It was almost he almost didn't get a master until he went
Yeah,
home
that's
and
the thing.
Qui-Gon took him on.
Yeah, he almost didn't get a master. He was about to go to the Agri-Corps or whatever,
Mhm.
and then or I think he did go to the Agri-Corps, and then there was like some problem with the Agri-Corps, like he had to save a bunch of people, and then Qui-Gon's like, you know what, I'm gonna take you on. Like he wasn't supposed, like he yeah, the fact that he didn't get picked is kind of crazy to me, but like Cal got picked at, if he got picked at age 11 or 12, like then that means he must have shown like some immense potential. Like the fact that he was able to use Force Slow, which is a brand new ability that no one knew existed, like just off emotion, like that shows something. And the fact that it only took, you know, a couple of days flying around the galaxy to completely regain his connection to the Force, also
That's
kind of
pretty
crazy.
impressive.
Like
Well,
that is incredibly impressive. The fact that he was able to keep Force Slow, such a powerful ability, on hand,
Yeah.
like, and just
he-
use
He
that
also
off
had Force
rip.
Echo, which is
Oh yes,
another
and
thing
psychometry.
awesome.
Yeah, he had psychometry. What? Are you kidding me? Like,
But if you
the
look
only Jedi I've seen with psychometry is Quinlan Voss.
Yeah.
Yeah. So real quick too, another thing to keep in mind is just for reference, Cal and Kanan Jarrus from Rebels are really similar in the fact that they both got hit by Order 66 and they were Padawans. And they literally were dropped in as Padawans, dropped into this time period where being a Jedi is illegal. You can't do it. So it's like anytime, like if a lightsaber is seen, you are screwed. You're boned. You're dead. So it's like that doesn't mean they have a lot of time to practice with it. And you saw that Kanan in Rebels was struggling at certain points with lightsaber combat. And like I think Maul taunts him about it. But over the series, he gets more attuned with the Force, and it helps him become a better swordsman. And you see that he starts training like Ezra. Like Cal and Kanan are like really similar in that regard, where it's like they're not Jedi, they're Padawans. So it's like they have no idea what they're doing with the lightsaber.
I felt like some of the enemies though you had to fight at the beginning were way too strong. Like, why am I fighting wildlife?
Oh no, honestly, the only wildlife that I felt was too strong were the giant frog thingies.
Yeah,
But
oh,
even then, like once you really get the hang of it, it's like, okay, this isn't this isn't that bad.
Yeah, it's
It was like
more
I was
annoying
just
than
like I
anything.
was just super hyped for this game because it was like the first Star Wars game that's like, you know, like story based game since like I don't know what, like The Force Unleashed, as far as like following this formula. So I was like, oh my god, super hyped up. So, and then I like finally I didn't play it when it first came out. I gave it a little bit, and then I was just like, wow, this is interesting. I don't want to say I overhyped it, but I was like, okay, well, this is definitely new and different. But it's like with any other game that I played, like the new God of War. Like when I played that for the first time, I was like, holy crap, this is a whole different like ballpark. Like it's not like the old hack and slash, you know,
Yes.
like I have to actually
Yeah.
like time my attacks. I have to block. Like what is this? Like
Yes.
it's just I think
Honestly,
it's just
I liked that about the new God of War. I like that about this. Like it's kind of weird. It's kind of, you know,
It's
you
elegant.
get timing down after a while. And like I said, when I got precision evade and I started slowing people as I dodged, oh my goodness.
what's like the best way to go about as far as upgrades? Like what should I focus on? Because like I don't even
You should-
honestly I don't even know where I am right now. I started a new like save just so I could like start from scratch. So I don't know how far I've got into right now, but
Well, first of all, you should find out where all the stim canisters are your first go round.
Mhm.
okay.
Boost your
And
health,
then
boost your lightsaber damage,
What's
precision
that?
evade. So you want to boost health, lightsaber damage, precision evade. My favorite one is the sprint deflection. So it's when you sprint when you're sprinting as Cal, he will automatically deflect blaster bolts coming at you.
Yep.
And then also do the sprint attack. So if you're sprinting and you press the attack button, you do
X or
increased
whatever.
damage when you slam into an enemy. So you can literally barrel into a fight and take off like half an enemy's health in one hit.
Yep. One thing I also love, Cal's finishers.
Mm-hmm.
Like his finishers are crazy.
Yep.
Like the leg sweep and the stab on the ground. Are you kidding? Or the roll,
Yeah,
like
those
roll
I
over
liked.
somebody's back.
Those I
and
thought
then
were
just
pretty
give him
good.
hit him with a lightsaber uppercut. That's tough.
Also, the attention to detail in the game too, like the stormtroopers. Like there are so many instances in the game where the stormtroopers will just keep talking shit to you. Where it's like, oh, we got him now, and then like you take out all but one, and he literally runs away, screams, "No, no, I'm not ready for this!" Like they actually give the stormtroopers a little bit of a humorous detail, but it's that detail that makes the game even better.
All right, maybe it's not as bad as I think it is. I'll give it a shot.
It's a really good game.
As soon as I leave this chair after this podcast, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Good.
I was thinking about getting it on PC. Maybe it's more fluent. Maybe I'll enjoy it more on PC. But honestly, I have it on Xbox. I'm not gonna waste the money and buy it again.
I have it on Xbox. It's been fine for me.
Well, I mean, as far as like the ending, and like I've watched a whole playthrough, so I know the story. Because I really don't care about the story overall. I just, if it plays good, I'll enjoy it. But oh man, the story is pretty interesting though. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I mean, like it looks like it's worth playing. It's just like I just, when I actually got it and was playing it for the first time, I was like, man, like I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that, where like you've waited and you've heard about this game for a really long time, and you finally play it, and you're like, well, it doesn't suck, but it's like, damn, like
not what you were hoping for, yeah.
David, I need you to do me a favor when you play it.
Yes.
You need to do the Order 66 Easter egg. I have done it every single time I've done a new playthrough.
What is that? The Easter egg, like the cutscene, or
no? So like it's not early. It's not a spoiler. This happens very early on in the game. When Cal is on the train at the beginning of the game and he falls asleep.
Yeah, I've done that.
There's a dream. Yeah, you literally go to you literally have to follow the train until you get to a door that doesn't open, and then you turn around and keep going back, and that's the dream sequence.
Yeah.
At the door that doesn't open, if you press open 6 times, literally Palpatine goes, "Execute Order 66," and then like that's the Easter egg. And like I found somebody and I saw it, and every time I've done it out of habit.
I'm looking this up right now. I'm looking this up right now.
Execute Order.
I'm not even. I've done it 3 times, dude.
First of all, I just want to know who tried to enter that room 66 times, then found that. I just want to. I want to thank them. I just want to thank them.
So, what do? You do something 66. What do you do?
On the train, during the dream sequence, you follow Prof, or the guy you're supposed to follow. To the end of the train, you keep opening doors. You'll get to a door that doesn't open. And then when you turn around, you'll be in like an Imperial hallway. And you're supposed to go back down. Before you turn around, when you get to that door that doesn't open, click open with the action key 66 times. And it'll be repetitive. You'll hear the beep, beep as Cal leans forward and just like taps the button every time.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Yeah, but once you do it 66 times, Palpatine comes over the loudspeaker and says, "Execute Order 66." It's small. It's a small Easter egg, but it is just, I love it. It's so great.
66 times, man.
Mm-hmm. I just spammed the button, dude.
Yeah, I know. Oh, man.
Execute Order 66.
Oh.
I just heard it. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, actually, if we're gonna real quick. So, saying it sounds like you've absolutely been loving Fallen Order. We'll have to talk about it a little bit more at some point, but just for the sake of time, let's give the floor to Nick so he can tell us about the game he's been idolizing and fangirling over the entire time.
Yeah, I've been really into Squadrons.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
One of the best games I've ever played. You know, because like I always loved playing like Battlefront 2 as a kid.
Wait,
on, like,
just to
PlayStation 2
clarify, is it the
playing
VR? Is it the VR part of it?
No,
or
unfortunately, I'm broke, so I can't afford a gaming computer that can handle like VR. So I just play on my Xbox. I would love to play it in VR because like I've seen all the videos online of like streamers playing it, and it looks like a next worldly experience. Like it's everything we always dreamed of kids like flying X-wings, and like it's so much fun. And it's just the story is good, could be better, leaves off in an interesting spot where I think a sequel could further the story, or even they could pick up the story in some of the new shows coming out, like Rogue Squadron. you know, but I really think that the gameplay, you know, they just focused in on how do we make the best first person air to air combat game we can make, and they just really got it right. You know,
Mm.
you got four different classes of fighters. So for the New Republic, you've got the X wing, the Y wing, the A wing, and the U wing. So you kind of have, your fighter, your interceptor, your bomber, and your support class. And then you go up against, the Imperials with their TIE fighter, your stereotypical one, TIE interceptor, TIE bomber, and then TIE Reaper, which is that the one of the uh ties that they introduce in Fallen
Rogue
Order
One.
that carries in I think it's also in Rogue One too. But it's the one that always delivers all of the Inquisitors that you fight in
Oh,
Fallen Order.
okay.
So it's actually really fun to fly around in. Um, but yeah, it's so much fun, and I haven't been able to play online yet. I suspect I would die very quickly, but
Mhm,
it's just
I have. It's ridiculous.
the game is beautiful. You know, you're like flying through like the Zabian abyss, and you're like, wow, look at all these like beautiful. It's the game is just beautifully done. The combat is so smooth. Like everything about it is just incredible.
I'm just gonna say it looks like if Battlefront 2, like the current, like the 2017 one that we have right
Yeah,
now, if they incorporated or paid more attention into like the space battles.
that's exactly what it feels like. You know, because like as a kid, I was really drawn to those space battles in Battlefront 2. Um, like, and just to play squadrons and feel like they like literally just took those space battles and just took the time they really needed to develop them and really get them right. And that's why squadrons just plays so well.
Oh, I have to say, Nick got me onto this game, and I was playing it for a little bit. I haven't finished it, which he's been on my case about. I will get to it, Nick, I promise. But I have to say, there's a function in it where like you can change controls. So while you're in the cockpit, you can change power to weapons, shields, and boosters.
Engines, yeah.
And so one of my favorite, and this has been so difficult every time I've played. Almost always, in order to get to the action, I shift all my power to engines, and there's a boost function. And I have had to resist the urge to yell "punch it" every time I tap the boost button at full engines in that game, just like Han and Chewie. We're just like, oh, we're going full hyperspace right now.
Oh, if that's
But
me, I'm shouting all the one-liners. Punch it, unlimited power. It's a trap.
it's
Like
like,
I'm gonna be fanboying. Like I don't like that game looks too fun to not do that.
well, the thing is, like, you do the campaign mode and you shoot down like 60 TIE fighters, and then you do an online match, and then within the first 5 seconds, you've been locked onto by two separate missiles. And the first thing that went into my head, because I hopped on with my friend, who was like, "Oh, let's try online," was like, "Oh, I'm pretty good so far." And immediately the phrase "Don't get cocky, son," was like right in my head when I got gunned down. I'm like, okay, I guess that's enough online. The matchmaking is terrible.
Yeah, I imagine. I don't think it was really an online focus. Was it
No,
though? I mean, if it
Yeah,
the
I
match.
mean, I haven't really.
I've been queued into a game at a level 2 with players who are level 60.
good old multiplayer matchmaking.
It is unreal.
I mean, I've never been one for multiplayer games to begin with. I mean, sure, at least multiplayer games like that.
At
Like
the end of the day,
after
it's all
going
the
through
same.
after going through COD, Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, I'm
Yeah,
cool. I'm okay.
yeah,
I'm
I
okay.
learned a lot of my vocabulary there.
Here I
Like,
am still trying to make the most of my $60 Black Ops Cold War purchase. Jesus Christ.
See, that
so you'll
sounds like
play
a
that.
you
You'll
problem.
play that, but you won't play Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah,
like, come
pretty
on,
much.
bro. Like, I don't know. You say you're picky, and then you play Cold War. You sure
I
about that
don't
one?
even. When can I tell you? Let me find out how many hours I have played on Cold War. I'll be surprised if it's anything. How do I even find out?
David, I've
What?
watched your playthroughs. You can try to back yourself up with this one.
Dude, I'm playing God of War right now. Like I'm going through and I'm playing it again. I almost wanted to buy a PS5 just to be able to play that game in like the highest graphic settings possible. But honestly, I don't care. That game is just too good to like worry about. And I'm currently playing through Doom 2016 on my computer.
Doom 2016 is good.
So like, see, like I can play story games. Okay, like I do have. I think I have a decent taste.
As long as you don't have to worry about dodging and blocking, you can play story games.
Oh, yes,
I played
story,
Doom.
doesn't it?
Doom's attraction is definitely the story. Am I right, boys?
Nah, dude, Doom's literally like. What do you mean?
The story
you don't play Doom. I don't play Doom for the story. I played to fucking destroy
I play Doom
demons.
for religion. Doom is my religion.
Yes.
But I refuse to play Fallen Order for the lore. Nah, man.
I'm sorry. I didn't enjoy it. It was so bad. I just couldn't. I was bored. I was 10 minutes in. I was like, okay, gonna go play what I wish this game was. Freaking Force Unleashed, throwing stormtroopers off the freaking railings.
You just want another power trip. That's what you want.
Yeah.
You can do the game.
Hey,
You can do that in order, David.
I'm sorry, but like you can literally do that. I'm sorry that you have to wait and be patient to unlock power. My bad, bro.
No, I need that instant gratification. I'm sorry.
Power over time. It has to be.
I need that instant gratification.
Jump in the first 5 minutes. What even is this?
I'm not gonna waste my time fighting giant freaking swamp monsters. I'm sorry. I'm just not doing it.
But that's like half the fun.
That's literally one level.
One level too shitty. I'm sorry.
It's the good.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that. Because the next level you're fighting freaking mountain goats. Oh, whoopee.
You're also fighting stormtroopers. How far did you get?
I don't even know.
Oh my Lord.
My very first playthrough, I know I didn't get that far, but this one that I'm on right now, I gotten pretty.
Bro, there's literally a stormtrooper. Like, there's literally 50 stormtroopers inside the village. What?
Yeah, and I thought their aim was terrible. They actually freaking.
They can't hit the They're stormtroopers, bro. They can't hit the broadside of an AT-AT.
Well, in this game, they roided them up or did something. I don't know.
So these stormtroopers work like Obi-Wan described them in A New Hope. Blast points.
They are accurate. They are accurate.
Only Imperial stormtroopers could be so precise.
I mean, they are. I love how he says that, and then immediately they can't hit anything for the rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like they jumping off of that like balcony or whatever. Meanwhile, they're shooting everywhere but them.
They bodied the rebels. If we're being honest.
I saw a meme that I almost sent to you guys. I thought it was hilarious. It was that quote. And it says, "We'd like to point out that Obi-Wan lies during this because if you look at this, the Imperial stormtroopers can't hit the broadside of a barn. A Tusken Raider in Episode 1 shoots out a pod racer from several miles away." And it was like,
no, they were
so in other words, Obi-Wan lied in order to abduct Luke and force him to join his guerrilla hit squad in order to take down the Empire.
You know, if you want, I'll fucking stream this bullshit so you can see the reasons why I have issues with this game. And I'm not saying it's like a horrible game by any means. Like, obviously, like
I don't know, you're sounding pretty defensive, David.
I mean, I don't want to spend my time fighting Old Greg and frog monsters and mountain goats. And
who's Old Greg?
You've never heard of it? You don't know what that is?
Oh, Nick, I'm gonna educate you later.
Okay, at least somebody knows to back me up. Jesus Christ!
I'll show you, Old Greg.
Oh God, but okay. Well, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it another shot. I know I will. Just might
you're
take
not
me
giving
a
it
few
a
years.
shot.
What?
David, you're gonna finish Fallen Order, and then you and I are both gonna finish Squadron, so Nick can get off my ass.
Honestly, the only way I see David finishing Fallen Order is if we physically force him to finish Fallen Order.
No, I'll leave.
That's the
this
same way
podcast. After this podcast, I will literally leave to go play.
Just put her on story mode.
I want to see screenshots.
Dude, are you gonna ever watch Rebels too? Because you've been telling us you're gonna watch Rebels.
I watched like the first few episodes of the first season.
Don't tell me he got bored.
No, I just genuinely got busy with school.
Oh, okay, that's valid.
It turned in from an open discussion to gang up on David because he's not doing the things he said he
Oh,
would.
yeah, apparently. God forbid I have a fucking hot take, guys. Jesus Christ. Don't worry. The next episode we'll all agree with everybody's takes. It's fine. It's fine.
Next week we make fun of
look.
Peter.
What's
It's
that?
okay
You
to
have an
have hot
outlandish
takes.
opinion? You will be vanished.
David, it's okay to have hot takes. It's just not okay to be wrong.
Nah, I stand by my take. I don't care.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion, even if yours is wrong in this instance, David.
Nah.
We love you,
There's
David.
there's no way I'm the minority in this. There's no
I
way I'm the
promise you
minority
you
when
are.
I'm saying that the game genuinely got overhyped. There's no way I'm in the minority. You can't be. There's no way.
I don't know. I think you might be, considering the general
Maybe it's my fault for overhyping it. Maybe it's my fault for picturing it to be, I don't know, a decent fucking game. I don't
It's
know.
a decent game. Like,
It's a
it's your fault for wanting it to be Force Unleashed.
Out of 10, yes, that's what I wanted.
Well, that's the problem.
Well,
Problem.
that's where they failed.
Look, everyone else knew that this was not
Okay,
going
out of
to
10,
Force
out of 10, out of 10, what would you rate it? Out of 10.
69.
Nice. Nice.
I'd rate it a solid 7.5 to 8.
Okay.
Like it's not perfect by any means, but it's like for the first single player Star Wars game, that's solely based on story and being a Jedi or a Force user, since Force Unleashed 2, it does a great job of picking up the torch and running with it.
Is there gonna be a sequel?
I believe
I-
so. I'm hearing like most of the fan base seems to believe there will be Fallen Order 2.
Because I know the way it
Hasn't Respawn confirmed it though?
Okay,
Yes,
spoiler warning. The ending when
Yes.
he didn't they have a chance to do something to reconnect with all the Jedi, and he was just like, nope, I'm not
Okay,
gonna do that.
spoiler alert. Spoiler alert for our viewers, listeners. If you don't want spoilers to Fallen Order, although it's been a year already, do not listen to the next 30 seconds to a minute. So, yes, at the end when they get the holocron from Second Sister and Vader and they escape, Cal has a choice to make, because he saw a vision on Bogano that if he really remade the Order, they'd get hunted down and killed and captured and turned into more Inquisitors, yada yada. He saw a Force vision when he was getting the holocron. So he, taking that vision into account, he decides to just cut the holocron in half so that no one can find the kids, and they just go off into the galaxy doing who knows what. I don't know what they plan to do. Maybe fight the Empire. Yeah, obviously, but we don't know how. We don't know if they're gonna link up with Luke. It's a little too early for that.
Fuck them kids.
Actually, way too early for that. But yeah, that's what happened. It's a very open-ended. It's a very open-ended, ending. Anything can happen. All we know is that they're alive and trying to do stuff, and Marin and Cal are probably gonna get together and yada yada yada.
Hell yeah.
Cal gets what everyone wants. Big titty goth GF.
I mean, the amount of people that wanted Cal in the Mandalorian finale. I mean, that's what I thought it was gonna be.
I just didn't want Luke.
There's no way. There was no way.
I was
It's
gonna.
I
way
would
too
have
far.
preferred him to Luke, given what that would have implied.
What was
That's all.
that?
That
I would've
Grogu
preferred-
got
I would've
slaughtered at
preferred-
the temple.
Yeah, I would have preferred Cal to Luke, given what Luke taking Grogu would imply.
Yeah, that he dies when what's his
But-
when Ben destroys the temple.
He gets slaughtered by Emo Solo. Yeah, exactly.
Ridiculous.
So yeah, so Fallen Order 2 has been confirmed to be in development by 2020. Last year, 2020 last year, December, I think. Yeah,
So-
it was in development last year. So
David,
we're
real
think- yeah, 2022 launch is the rumor.
Okay.
Okay.
Peter, so you
David,
were telling me to play on I guess you just said play on the easiest difficulty. I don't want to do that because I don't want to have it be too just boring
David.
and too I want somewhat of a challenge.
like I've said, I've 100% of the game. I've platinumed the game on PlayStation,
What
and I
difficulty?
so I did the first run on. You don't get an achievement for beating it on a difficulty.
Okay.
Yeah, no, there's no difficulty achievements. It doesn't matter what you beat it on.
All right.
I went through the
That's
first
good to
time
know.
on Jedi Knight, and then when I went back and I got everything in the game, every collectible, every terrarium seed, all of those, every BD1 encryption log, all of those, I did that on story mode. But even
Nice.
still, there were times that, like, the boss fights and even just a group of enemies did more damage than you think they would during,
Big facts.
you know, a story mode. So yeah, the story mode is genuinely easier, but the difficulties are literally only there for your own personal decisions. If you want to challenge yourself personally, then you can up the difficulty, but no matter what, you're not going to get an achievement for beating it on, Jedi Knight or Grandmaster. You just get an achievement for beating the game.
Got it.
Yes.
So
How
And
long
the
is
thing
it? Is it like a 30-hour game probably?
No, absolutely not.
No.
Like, if you
Absolutely.
want to platinum it, sure, it might be. It'll take a little while. But
It's
I honestly think I could have beaten this game in a couple of days, give maybe a week.
because that was my big
It's a relatively short game.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would give the game an 8 personally, just because of the story we get, the characters we get to meet, the customization options in terms of, like, the
Yes.
lightsaber. The whole thing that I said about the stormtroopers, the levels are really cool. The temples all look unique and different.
Mhm.
That I do
my-
like though, the customization.
My biggest gripe with it, I think, was it felt like, one, it was too short.
Yes.
2, the overuse of different planets, of the same planets.
Yeah.
Like, you go back to Zepho, I think, 3 times.
We went to Zepho like 3 times. I've never
Zepho, you go
been so
3
mad.
times.
Lugano
Dathomir
twice.
go twice. You go
Dathomir wasn't bad though. Like, going to Dathomir twice wasn't bad in my opinion.
No,
It's like,
Dathomir was
it's like you're in a little like hub and you're going bouncing from these planets and it's like,
Yeah.
well, what am I doing?
I think there are 5 planets total. There's Bogano, Zepho, Dathomir, Ilum.
Kashyyyk.
Am I missing one?
And for wherever Fortress Inquisitoris is.
Yeah, but that's not really. Yeah, that's the final level. That's not really a.
And you also go to Kashyyyk.
No,
Oh,
yeah, 'cause
Kashyyyk, yes.
that's 5 planets, not counting the Inquisitorius headquarters. I mean, like, and you go back to Kashyyyk 2 times.
There totally could have been DLC though. Why is there no DLC? I feel like this is a game that would do pretty well with that.
Well, Nick and I had talked at one point about, we thought an incredible DLC would have been, what's her name? The one that rescues Cal.
Seer.
Seer. We thought it would have been really cool if they had a DLC where you played as Seer
She bothers me.
during the whole thing with her Padawan.
Yeah.
Again,
Oh yeah.
No spoilers,
That'd be
and
cool.
it ends with her escape from the Fortress Inquisitorius.
Dude, she bothers me. Her character, or whatever it is, the model is just. I'm sorry.
Her eyes are big. Her
Yeah.
eyes are really
Yeah.
That's the thing that bothers me about Seer.
The one thing I did like though is, spoiler, when Vader just, like, she was charging at him, he just goes, "Yeah, get out my face," and he just throws her off the.
New objective survive.
That was funny. Okay,
He's
well,
like,
we're
"I've
over an
decided to
hour now.
cancel."
We're at an hour and 2 minutes, coming on to an hour
I
and
love
3
it.
minutes. So that was really
He
good.
said, "I've decided to cancel your free subscription to life."
Yes,
Yeah.
basically. All right, well, gentlemen, this was a good discussion, even though I was
Yeah,
basically
man.
getting berated for my opinion, which I will.
Man, look,
What?
we told you, it's not bad to have hot takes. It's just bad to be wrong.
Oh, we'll see. I'm gonna go play this game right now. And we'll see. What's that?
Fix your opinion and you'll be fine.
Nah,
Exactly.
nah. I stick with my opinions. I'm not gonna. Whatever. What are you gonna cancel me? You gonna
Yes.
kick me out of the podcast?
We're gonna Gina Carano you.
We're just gonna
Is that what
bully
we're
you.
gonna do because I have an opinion on a video game? Yeah. Is that what's
We're just
happening
gonna
right
bully
now?
you endlessly. That's
I'm
all.
gonna give you
No
the
big deal.
full Bill Burr treatment.
All right. Well, in that case, y'all suck.